Broadway musical, with book by Alan Nee, lyrics by Minnie Dixon, and music by Jason Howland. Act 1, Scene 1. Lights up on Mrs. Kirk's New York City boarding house, January 1865. We see Professor Bear, a German professor in his mid to late 30s. He is quite proper.
Miss March! Another letter has arrived for you! Miss March!
Mrs. Kirk, the mutton you ordered is on the kitchen table. Thank you, Professor. Christopher Columbus, another publisher. Another rejection?
I have no idea. I do not read your letters, but they keep arriving and I keep bringing them to you.
I keep hoping.
We all keep hoping for your success, Miss March. The entire boarding house keeps hoping. You have us all on edge.
My dear Miss March, I read your story. Well, he's read it. Unfortunately, I found your tales tasteless and vulgar, not at all suitable for my readers. My advice to you...
My advice to you is to return home and have babies. This is what women are made for. Sincerely, F. Putnam.
22.
22?
22 rejections since I've been in New York. They all say the same thing. Go home. Give up.
F. Putnam is an idiot. His words are stupid.
F. Putnam is one of the most powerful publishers in the city.
You cannot lose faith, Miss March. There'll be someone who will like your story. I'm certain of it.
Professor Bayer, is it possible I could read my story to you? I would so respect your opinion.
Yes, of course.
Actually, it's one of my best. It's a mean and stormy night. The moors are bleak and bloody. Thunder claps, lightning strikes. The fair Clarissa, her clothes in disarray, races across the wild coastal heath. Now she stops, now she runs. Will she escape? Will she be caught? With bold determination, the villainous aristocrat Braxton Prendergast lurches for her. There's no escape. She's but a child, and yet she turns to fight with eyes ablaze. This noble girl meets his gaze, unafraid. She will not be defiled. Keep away from me, you wretch! I cannot keep away from me. Your beauty draws me. Your passion ignites me.
I've got to hold you.
I defy you.
Got to have you.
Let me buy you.
Come close.
Don't come too close. Don't come too close. So close, so close to me.
I'll have you. And the mother, too.
And at that moment, Rodrigo appears in magnificent splendor.
Unhand that woman, villain! Who are you? I am your destiny, your bitterest foe. You stole what was rightly mine 10 long years ago. You left me cold, alone and forgotten. Now I'm back to settle the score.
Miss March, tell me, what is it you are writing here?
Blood and gut stuff. It's all the rage. The magazines and periodicals are full of it.
Violence and seduction on every page.
Read Shakespeare. Read history. Read the newspapers.
It's getting late. Perhaps it's best we pursue this some other time.
No. I want to know what you think, Professor.
Blood and gut stuff. What you think the world wants to hear? If I have noticed nothing else about you, Miss Marsh, I have noticed that you are unique. Something you should try not to forget. I think you could do better.
Better? And just who are you anyway? An aging German professor, close to 50.
I'm 34.
34. Really? Well, you look a lot older.
I worry a lot.
Just what do you worry about?
How to avoid a conversation such as this. Now, I will go to dinner. Miss March, since you have been here 6 weeks now, is it? You shout, you rant, you upset the whole order of this boarding house. I am a serene and peaceful man.
You're aloof. You're arrogant.
Arrogant? Miss March, I spoke my mind as you spoke yours. Obviously, it was not appreciated on either side.
Obviously, my stories were a great success in Concord. Better than what? Better than this dazzling plot. Better, this story will be my King Lear. Each phrase is better than him. Better, even my smallest whim is better. How can he miss what's so clear? How can I do better than what's already here? How can what he said to me be true? If I don't succeed, what will I do? Turn around, go back to Concord, leave New York behind unconquered? No, how dare he make me doubt the way I feel, doubt that each thrilling page is who I am. Aren't these words alive with passion, vivid as my attic where it all began?
The scene gradually changes to 2 years earlier. We find ourselves in the March attic, Concord, Massachusetts. It is the day before Christmas, 1863.
Joe, all the girls at school were horrible to me. Charlotte Fenton said my dress was ragged and my nose was flat. Joe, I hate being a governess. I should be meeting eligible young men. It's going to be a dismal Christmas, what with Father away and no money for presents. Meg, Amy, Joe has a surprise for us.
Where was I better when I was home? Listen, everyone, I have arisen to the occasion this year and written us an operatic tragedy.
And we're going to perform it for Christmas. No, I can't.
Yo,
Not
do
with
you
my
really think
nose.
we should? What with this awful war? When have we let anything defeat us? Years from now, people will talk about us. One Christmas Eve, 4 penniless and ragged sisters put on an operatic tragedy for all of Concord.
Oh,
All
no.
filled with blood and guts. 2 massacres, a masked ball, and several heart-wrenching scenes. We'll dim the lights, the crowd will hush. We'll start the overture, and Beth will surely blush. And when Clarissa starts to bleed, Christmas will exceed our finest dream.
Joe, do I die again in this one?
Yes, Maggie will die like none before. The world will shudder when your body hits the floor. And when Rodrigo makes you bleed, Christmas will exceed our finest dreams. Now Amy as Clarissa, only passion is permissible. This tragedy depends upon the fire in your eyes. And Beth, when you're the mother, you'll be noble, you'll be pure. All hearts will melt the moment Mother cries. Let us begin. Aha! No, expression, Amy, from the heart. Mother, dear mother, do not cry!
Mother! Dear Mother! Joe, I am teased and ridiculed at school, and all that concerns you is your silly little tragedy.
I know it's hard, but we will triumph when Rodrigo yells on guard.
Touché!
Our success is guaranteed. Christmas will be thrilling, Christmas will be gory, Christmas will exceed our finest dreams. Joe, I made an important decision today. As you all know, I've been writing stories forever, with much satisfaction, and people seem to like what I write.
We love it, Joe.
Absolutely. So I've decided I'm going to become a world-renowned writer. I shall write great books and earn barrels of money, and I'll give you all everything you've ever dreamed of.
Joe can do anything.
But we have to promise to remain just as we are, solid, like a fortress. No matter whatever happens, we must promise that it'll always be the four March sisters, forever. Forever! Come, let's rehearse. Not my daughter, wretch! I've got my brood for time, a travel roar. She'll make their spirits soar. I'm making my exit now with curtains and
Christmas will be thrilling.
I'll show
Yes,
them
Christmas
all
will
in
exceed
a dress
our
of
finest
dreams. I'm ready to take a bow.
Christmas
I've taken a
When
solemn
the red
vow.
Rodrigo's
Please
rings
grant that
the
I am
village
somehow. My dearest Mama, there will be Christmas after all. Christmas will exceed our finest dreams. Christopher Columbus, I'm bursting with energy. Someone give me a task to do.
I want you to bring Father home.
I shall write President Lincoln tonight. Another.
I want you to get Annie Moffat to invite me to her St. Valentine's Day ball.
I'll wring her bloody little neck if she doesn't. Another.
I want you to get us a Christmas tree.
Rodrigo, we'll go chop one down immediately.
Where?
There, across the road.
But that's on Mr. Lawrence's property. I'll go to prison for it.
Prison? What care I for prison?
The girls rush to the window to watch as she goes.
Joe is an incredible human being. Look, it's Mr. Lawrence. He's standing there at the window glaring out. He looks sinister. I think he actually looks rather sad. I wouldn't be sad living in such a house. Has anyone been inside? He never let any of us in. They say he's a very angry and bitter man. Joe's going to get us all in deathly trouble. We'll be known as the family with the criminal sister.
What criminal sister?
Marmee! Home.
Marmee, the girl's mother, enters. Her strength and spirit hold the family together.
What's happening here?
Joe's written an operatic tragedy. And she's inviting all of Concord to come see us perform it. I'm the mother in it. And I die in it. But it's a beautiful death. And I play Clarissa, who's very sweet.
It sounds wonderful.
Oh, Marmee, it's Joe's best. Tell us about your day.
Well, we knitted socks and blankets for the Soldiers' Aid Society, and a letter came from Father.
A letter from Father? Read it to us, Marmee.
We'll wait for Joe.
Read the letter, Marmee.
Where's Joe?
She's outside. She may be ours.
We'll wait for her. I want to hear all the things you did today.
I baked a dozen basements and a cactus
Rodrigo has returned! Joe? Marmee, where did you get that tree?
I borrowed it from Mr. Lawrence.
Joe, you didn't.
I took it for us, Marmee.
You'll take it back immediately.
take it back? That's like bringing back a chicken after you've chopped off its head. Do let us keep it. It's Christmas, Marmee.
No, destroying someone else's property.
Well, we could give it to the Hummels. They have so little.
Good. The tree goes to the Hummels then. Now what about Mr. Lawrence?
What about him?
Mr. Lawrence, a very stern, solidly built man in his early 70s, appears in the doorway. Standing behind him, almost unnoticed, is his grandson, Laurie.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes, Mr. Lawrence. You!
Me?
You chopped down my perfect Douglas fir. I should have you arrested.
I'll make it up to you, sir.
With what?
I'll plant 6 more.
12
And I'll chop your firewood for a few days.
weeks. And I should hope an incident like this never happens again. You ruined my day.
He loves his trees. I'm Theodore Lawrence III, but everyone calls me Laurie. I've come to live here in Concord. I play the piccolo, can sleep standing up, and I won a medal in school for holding my breath for nearly 3 minutes before passing out. I think that was terrifically daring of you chopping down grandfather's tree. Well, goodbye.
Theodore Lawrence III, would you mind delivering this tree to the Hummels?
Joe!
I don't mind at all.
He doesn't mind.
Just point me in the direction.
They live half a mile down the road. The red house with the broken shingles.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Joe, you must think before you act on every whim.
I just want us all to have a wonderful Christmas.
A letter's come from Father.
Christopher Columbus!
Do read the letter, Marmee.
My dear wife, the war goes on and on. The end seems nowhere in sight. The days are difficult and long, but I am well.
He's well.
Still, it's very lonely away from my dear ones, especially lonely as Christmas is approaching. Each night, in my tent, I think of my precious girls.
He thinks of us.
Give them all my love and give them a sweet kiss. Tell them to be good girls, faithful and hardworking, and to conquer that which is disagreeable in them, so that when I return, I'll be fonder and prouder than ever of my little women. Why are we looking so glum? Do we have an operatic tragedy to perform or not?
We do.
Then there are costumes to complete, and we'll need an oleo curtain for you to paint.
And will you perform something, Marmee?
Do, Marmee? I'll write something thrilling for you with passion and daring.
Yes, I will. We'll make this the best Christmas ever. We March women are invincible. Come, let's get to work.
I'll get my paints.
I'll look for a costume for Marmee.
I'll design the handbill.
Still don't know why we couldn't have kept the tree.
My dear husband, write a letter, be inventive, tell you everything is fine. Be attentive to the distance, send my love with every line. Every word should bring you closer and caress you with its tone. Nothing should remind you that I am here alone. I can't tell you what I'm feeling. I can't talk about the war, how the pealing of the church bells brings the battle to our door. I don't know which part is harder, what I know, what's unknown, or raising little women when I am here alone, counting days, praying for news. Is this the life we meant to choose? Do you know how much I miss you at this hour of the day? How I wish you were the twilight come to take my fears away. Can I manage 4 young women? I'm not certain I know how. Will I be there when they need me? Do I fail them even now? I wish that you were with me. Wish that I could bring you home. The night feels so much longer now that I am here
Scene 2. The scene moves to March's stately house, January 1864. March's formidable, overbearing matron sitting in her great chair.
Josephine! Josephine, is that you? Josephine!
Good morning, Aunt March.
Do you know the hour?
Almost 10, I believe.
Your workday begins with me at 9. You've missed reading to me and still haven't repaired the latch on the cellar door.
I got delayed finding you this beautiful flower.
Don't trifle with me, Josephine. You are dawdling.
I wasn't dawdling. I was writing a story.
You are what happens to a girl when she has no father.
I have a father.
Never here when you need him. And now my nephew has the audacity to be an army chaplain when he can't even support his own family. Josephine, listen to me. You are on the verge of womanhood.
Christopher Columbus.
And just look at you. You go about writing senseless stories, constantly trying to save the world, and you can't save yourself.
I don't need saving.
There are many pitfalls a girl can fall into, and Josephine, you are heading towards all of them. I want to see you shine. Even if you're not rich, at least you can marry well.
I'll never marry.
You'll marry. All girls marry.
I'm not all girls.
With a good marriage, you can have power. You can take your place in society.
I don't give 2 figs about society.
Then there is no point in our having this conversation. It's clear to me I could never take you to Europe.
Take me to Europe?
It was an idle thought of mine.
Do you know how important it is for a writer to travel? It's been my dream, Aunt March.
We earn our dreams in this world, Josephine. Oh, it's foolish of me to think you could ever change your ways.
I could try.
You can never bend your will. You can never follow through. You can never bite your tongue, though your tongue may split in two. If you want to live your dreams, these are things you have to do. How could you change? You can't, not you.
I could change if I wanted to.
Could you practice self-control? Could you possibly be shy? Could you wear a corset tight in the heat of mid-July? These are rules you must obey, every one which you defy. You'll never change. You won't, that's why. Yet somewhere deep within my heart I do believe you could captivate the world. If you could change, there was so much you could achieve. In time you could succeed and travel very far indeed. You could be beguiling,
Charming me.
someone well-mannered, a model of grace. Learn the art of smiling.
That could be hard.
It isn't very hard for someone full of dreams like you. If you work, you'll find there's nothing you can't do.
So if I change, we'll go to Paris.
Change completely or don't waste my time.
If I change, we'll stop in Antwerp.
Gracious living will make you sublime.
If I change, you'll take me to Zurich.
Every city from Antwerp to Cannes.
Surely, with your guidance, I could learn to use feminine wiles with Elan. I could be surely think I could. If you could, that would be good. There's nothing that I wouldn't suffer to see the world. I can do it if I try. I can do it by sheer will. All you have to do is work to acquire any skill. These are things a girl must do when she has dreams she must fulfill. Change how you walk and how you talk. Change how you think and how you are. I'll hold my breath and hold my tongue. Do what it takes to travel far. Could you? Could you? Could you? Yes, I could. Good.
Scene 3. We return to the March Parlor. It is February 14th, 1864.
Girls, it's getting quite late.
Wait till you see them, Marmee.
To think my 2 oldest girls are attending their first ball. Next year, it'll be you, Beth.
Me? You think so?
Meg?
Meg appears at the stairs in a beautiful gown with bare shoulders.
I can't go.
Meg, why not?
Look at me. Every girl in Concord my age has been to a ball, and this is the very first time I've ever worn a dress like this. Anything like this.
I wore that very same dress to my first ball, and it didn't look half so good on me. Margaret March, you've been dreaming about Annie Moffat's St. Valentine's Day ball for months. You can't walk away from it now.
Jo appears on the stairs in a gown of her own.
I'm not built for gowns.
You look very alluring.
I think the word is alarming, Marmee. Meg's the beauty. Look at her. She'll be the most sought-after girl at the ball.
She doesn't want to go.
Meg? What will I do when someone asks me to dance?
Just smile and say, I'd be delighted.
Delighted.
Then offer him your hand.
Delighted.
Delighted. Now let him take command.
I'm hardly delighted.
You're dancing like a candle.
No, I cannot dance tonight.
I'd be delighted.
Then you go.
The music is entrancing.
Exotic.
Hypnotic.
The sound of men romancing.
Delighted.
Delighted.
And some of them are glancing.
People everywhere. Elegance to spare.
How can I be sure they'll like me when I'm there?
I can see you dancing all night. I'd be delighted, delighted,
So glad we were invited.
completely delighted.
Who paid the coachman?
I did delighted, provided success has been decided. The shoes, delighted, delighted, no time, delight sublime, delighted.
I'm ready.
Amy appears at the top of the stairs in a gown much too big for her.
Amy, what are you doing?
I'm going to the ball.
You're what?
I found this old dress and it almost fits.
It was mine.
I know. All it needs is a pretty sash. Besides, why shouldn't I go?
Because you weren't invited.
I could go in your place.
In my place?
You don't care about good society, and I do.
I don't care about snobs. People who think they're better than everyone else just because they have grander houses.
Well, they do have grander houses.
That's enough, Amy.
But I want elegance and fine things, Marmee.
And I want passion. I want to be noticed because I'm unique, not because of some silly sash.
Sashes aren't silly. Aunt Marge says the right accessories can be the key to a girl's success. Besides, I never go to a ball with scorch marks on the back of my dress.
What?
As big as your...
Amy, stop it.
Jo hates balls. She should stay in her musty old attic and write her dreadful little stories.
Amy. My stories aren't dreadful.
Nobody reads them and nobody likes them.
Girls! Well, I like them. I'm sending this one off to a very prominent New York publisher.
And he'll hate it.
Enough, Amy.
We've got to go.
Yes, and I'll tell everyone how sweet you were to give me your beautiful fan. Good night, Marmee. Beth, if anyone calls for us, we're at the ball.
Good night, everyone.
Girls, have a wonderful evening. Amy, think about what you said, and when Joe comes home, you can apologize. Come, off to bed now. Amy,
Coming.
Amy picks up Joe's portfolio and tosses the pages into the fire. The scene shifts to a glorious atrium in Annie Moffat's house.
It was an accident. Joe! I swear, Meg, Mrs. Parrott kept moving in on me, like a mountain lion. She had this gigantic ear trumpet and she kept shouting at me, "What's that you saying, my dear?" She's deaf. She got so close I ended up spilling the entire glass of punch on her.
Joe!
And then Annie Moffat said to me, "Can I be of help, Sally?" Who's Sally?
I think it's her dog.
I ought to box her ears.
Joe, don't. We'll take a few minutes, then we'll go back in as if nothing had happened. Our heads held high.
Yes, you're right. For a young lady who's soon to go abroad and do amazing things, I shall return, poised and elegant, brimming with confidence. I shall sit grand. Oh, Christopher Columbus!
Excuse me.
You?
Me.
What are you doing here?
I passed out. Too much dancing, I guess.
Too much punch, I'd say.
Lori? Lori!
Mr. John Brooke, Laurie's tutor, rushes in. He's in his late 20s, good-looking, with strong features.
Lori, where have you been? I've been looking everywhere for you.
Mr. Brooke, I want you to...
Your grandfather will be furious. He wants to meet some important people.
I have. These are the March girls I've been telling you about. The ones from across the way. This is Meg, right?
Yes.
And that's Joe. She cuts her firewood on occasion. This is Mr. John Brooke. He's a scholar from Boston.
I'm Lori's tutor. Come, Lori.
Sir, you've taken my dance card.
Your dance card. Oh, is this yours? I'm sorry. So, you're Margaret March.
Yes, I am.
It's a splendid party, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Quite lovely. So, you're from Boston?
Maine, actually.
Never been to Maine.
It's a beautiful country. You should go. It's very primitive.
I like primitive.
Really?
Mr. Brooke is a romantic.
Is that true?
Well, no. I read Keats and Kelly. I mean, Keats and Shelley.
So do I.
You read Keats and Shelley?
All the time.
Christopher Columbus.
Would you like to dance, Miss March?
Actually, Meg and I were about to join the ladies in the salon.
I'd be delighted, Mr. Brooke. Excuse us, Joe.
Did you see her? She just... What is it with you and that smile?
You make me beef.
Well, you look ridiculous.
You are looking very fetching tonight.
Fetching, really.
So tell me, when you're not attending balls, what do you do?
I write blood and guts stories. I make extraordinary plans. I'm going to Europe to meet famous writers and revolutionaries. So, what about you? What do you do? Marmee says you're all alone in the world. No mother or father. That must be awful for you.
It's not awful. I've got a cranky old grandfather, and I've got a cat, and I've got...
What?
Well, I was hoping to say you.
Me? You don't have me.
I know I have no right, but sometimes late at night I watch you in the attic, pacing back and forth like a maniac. I've never met a girl like you, anyone at all like you. This is very nice, such a lovely party. The music sounds so thrilling, it makes a person feel like dancing. I'm very good. I won a medal for dancing at school.
I don't dance. Besides, I've got a patch on the back of my dress.
A patch? Let me see.
Oh, no.
I like it. That patch could start a whole new fashion. You dance with me tonight, and I guarantee by next spring, every girl in Concord will be wearing a patch on her dress. We could do 100 things, do anything you please. We could fly on golden wings across the 7 seas. I'll bet we could get a camel through a needle if you take a chance on me.
You are a lunatic.
We could catch 1,000 stars and stand them on a pin. We could leave from here to Mars and make the planet spin. If you want to do all the things you've ever dreamed of, come on, take a chance on me. We could be such friends. Friends are never lonely. All I know is books. Books are solitary, but I see you every day. How you live in your own way, and you make me wanna dare to take a chance on you.
All right, we could box if you like.
You box?
Joe tucks the hem of her dress into her belt.
Ready?
I should warn you, I won a medal for boxing at school.
He takes a boxing pose. They move about. Joe feigns having a broken nail, but when he moves to her, she quickly pommels him with a punch to the solar plexus and a chop on the back. He falls.
So, that's how you win medals?
You cheat. We could live a million dreams, but only if we dare. You win. We could go to such extremes. There's so much we could share. We'll circle the world doing all we've ever dreamed of. And we'll live in our own way. And I'll see you every day. We'll be the best of friends. When you take a chance on me. Try me.
I challenge you to a skating race tomorrow at the pond. Come on.
We'll circle the world doing all we've ever dreamed of. 'Cause you'll take a chance. Yes, you'll take a chance.
The scene shifts to the March parlor where Mr. Brooke is assisting Meg onto the sofa.
Marmy, they're home.
Meg?
Excuse me, Miss March? Mr. John Brooke, Lori's tutor. We were dancing and the ankle may be sprained. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
The evening began very strangely, but ended magnificently. Good night.
Good night. Can you walk on it?
It's nothing, Marmy.
Tell us about the ball.
I tried to do all these ladylike things, Marmy, that went unnoticed, except by Mr. Lawrence's grandson. Oh, and poor Meg, no one even asked her to dance but this pompous Mr.
He
Brooke.
danced divinely. I had a wonderful time. Actually, I had the best time of my entire life. I may have left you a girl, but I come home a woman.
What's she talking about?
Meg! It's just Meg being silly, Marmy.
Girls, off to bed now. It's been a long day. For all of us.
Beth, darling, look what I brought for you. A truffle.
Thank you, Joe.
Amy. Good night, Marmy.
I'm sorry for the things I said, Joe.
And for you, Miss March, a petit four. A little squashed, but still edible.
Thank you.
Coming, Joe?
I just want to put the finishing touches on my story, Marmy.
Don't be too long, and see that the fire is out.
Joe goes to the fireplace. She pulls out charred pieces of paper. She begins to get frantic. She rushes about. She finds the portfolio. It is empty.
Amy! Amy! Amy, where are you?
Joe, what's happened?
Amy! Joe? Amy!
Joe, what is it?
Amy, what did you do with my story?
Nothing.
What did you do? I was working on that day and night.
I burned it.
You what?
And I'm glad I did.
Amy!
Ah, I ought to choke you.
Joe, no!
Go on. I bare my throat to you.
Girls, stop it. Back to bed now. What's gotten into you both?
She burned my story.
Amy, what did you do?
She deserved it.
No, Amy, she did not deserve it. You did an intolerable thing.
Marmee!
You destroyed what meant the world to Joe.
Joe has everything.
What do I have? I wear dresses with patches. I write a story that my sister burns.
You could have given me the invitation.
The invitation was meant for me.
Your time will come, Amy.
No! My time will never come! I'm always forgotten. I'm always last. I'm never invited anywhere. I am nothing special.
Enough! Amy! Both of you, look at me. I can't demand you two love one another, but I do demand you live together with respect.
I hate the way I look. I hate this nightgown.
It was mine.
I want something that's mine! And I'll take back that fan.
I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. Though you did give birth to her.
Can't you see? She wants to be like you. She wants to have what you have. She's just a child, Joe.
She's not a child. She's a demon in a child's body.
Joe, if I could bring your story back, I would.
My writing is everything to me, Marmee. It's who I am. It's my future. It's my passion.
That passion is still in you. Believe me, Joe, it's still there.
I'll never forgive her.
You're not wrong, Joe, to feel anger. But if you build a wall between you and Amy, the one person you may end up hurting is yourself. And I couldn't bear that. Try and get some sleep.
Jo gets up and wends her way to the attic, the only place in the house where she can work in peace and quiet.
I can't sleep. I won't. I will never fall asleep again, not for decades, no, not even then. My life was in this story. How could she be so cruel? How can so much be lost so easily? I wrote my heart out, it does not seem fair. I'll rage till I'm withered. I'll grow cold and bitter. Carlotta, the madwoman of the attic, creature of gall. I like this. A spinster, rejected by the world, changed her appearance. Yes, she attached golden braids to her hair.
Scene 4. The scene moves ahead in time several weeks. Spring is slowly approaching.
Joel, come skating with me. The ice is still frozen enough. The ice is magnificent today. Joel, come.
Lori, I'm finishing a story.
Finish it later. Come race me. I want to win one race before the winter's over.
I'll give you a 2-minute head start
2 minutes?
and still beat you.
The scene moves to the March parlor. Beth is sitting at the piano, attempting to practice. However, the piano has a broken note and Amy will not stop moving.
Go
around the
with
room.
them.
Joe doesn't want me.
Go anyway.
She hasn't talked to me in 3 weeks. I drew this picture of her with beautiful hair and she just ignored it. Besides, my ice skates don't fit me anymore.
Take mine.
Can I really? Thank you, Beth. I hope one day I can be sweet like you.
You are sweet.
Watch where you're going.
Sorry, Mr. Lawrence.
That piano sounds terrible.
Needs a tuning, sir.
Where's my grandson, Laurie?
I'm sure he'll be home soon.
That boy's missed 6 lessons, fallen behind in all his work. I've strictly forbidden him to associate with his family.
Why, sir?
Because a man needs an iron will if he's to succeed in this world. And this family will only soften him. Which one of the dreadful little March girls are you?
I'm dreadful.
Beth.
Oh yes, Laurie said you're the one who wants to play my priceless piano. It's out of the question. That piano belonged to my daughter, Laurie's mother. And it's been locked since she passed away. And that's how it shall stay. Are you afraid of me?
A little.
Why?
It might have something to do with your face, sir. It's very hard.
I cannot help my hard face. Continue what you were playing. Come now, I haven't all day. Are you going to play or not?
If you say, come with me off to Massachusetts, then to Massachusetts we will go. We will buy dishes there, maybe even 2 sets. Buy the finest china, then we'll dine a while on crepe Suzettes.
Well, go on.
We will build model boats off in Massachusetts. There in Massachusetts by the bay. Put them together and wait until the glue sets.
What's the matter now?
I don't remember the rest, sir.
While we wait, we'll poker for the folk along the parapets.
Off.
To Massachusetts,
Yes, we're off.
to where the shops are sweet.
We will play minuets off in Massachusetts. Boston, Massachusetts, Beacon Street.
If you say,
you
come with
say,
me off to
come with
Massachusetts, then to Massachusetts we will go. We will buy
We will
dishes
buy
there, maybe
dishes
even 2
there.
sets. Buy the finest china, then we'll dine a while on crepe Suzettes.
Off
to Massachusetts.
Yes, we're off.
Yes, we're off to where the shops are sweet. We will have no regrets off in Massachusetts. Boston, Massachusetts, we.
Boston, Massachusetts, we.
Boston, Massachusetts, we repeat. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.
Beth, come visit me tomorrow. I'll find that piece of that old piano. We'll see if there's still some music left in it. Will you come?
Yes.
And when you see Lori, tell him I wish to see him at once.
Meg!
What is it, Beth?
Mr. Lawrence was here. He invited me to come to his house and play his piano. Oh, Beth! He's really not as horrible as we imagined.
Meg! Beth!
Lori enters carrying Amy, followed by Joe.
What happened?
Amy? She fell through the ice.
She was skating by the bridge and suddenly the ice gave way. I got to her just in time.
She's careless. She's rash.
She just wanted to be with you.
I was skating so beautifully. Don't think. You know you're not supposed to skate by the bridge. Everyone knows the ice by the bridge is dangerous.
But you didn't want me skating near you. I love your stories, Joe. I tried to write one to make up for what I did, but I couldn't think of anything to say. So I drew that picture of you with beautiful hair,
And my big mouth.
and you just ignored it.
You skate recklessly. If it wasn't for Laura, you could have been killed.
Maybe it would have been better if I had.
You must never talk like that. When the ice broke beneath you, all I thought was that I could have lost you.
Then go on, Joe. Forgive her.
See how much she's changed. See
I
her
think she
sweet
deserves another
side.
chance.
Everybody stop it! I was devastated when you burned my story. Didn't understand how you could do such a thing. But promise me you'll never think of me as an enemy, but as a sister who loves you.
I promise, Joe.
The Marx sisters, forever.
Forever!
Lori, who saved Amy and made this day possible. I want to declare before everyone, before the world, that on this day of forgiveness and joy, that you, Theodore Lawrence III, who has valiantly lost all contest to me, I declare you our brother, the brother we never had. Swear to us your greatest oath of loyalty, an oath as dazzling as your charms.
I'll swear I'll follow you like royalty.
Come wear our royal coat of arms. From now on we are joined, and we shall not be parted. From this day on it's all for one, and one for all for life.
We'll live like musketeers.
Together we'll prevail. We'll be fine for all forever from now on.
Now each of us must swear for all eternity. Our bond shall never be undone. Nothing shall sever this fraternity. We'll always live and die as one. From now on we are joined, and we shall not be parted.
From this day on, it's all for one.
And one for all for life.
Together we will fight.
Your battles will be mine.
We'll be fine for all forever from now on. Speech, speech, speech!
On this wonderful day.
Wonderful.
One I'll never forget.
Never forget.
I am honored to say I am yours.
From this day on we swear that we shall not be parted. From this day on, no matter what, we're fine for all for life. We'll conquer every foe.
With our brother by our side.
And if John Brooke were here, he'd be our brother too.
Thanks, in love.
We'll consider any friend.
We'll be loyal to the end.
We'll be fine for all forever.
We'll be fine for all forever.
We'll be fine for all forever from now on and on and on. From now on.
The scene shifts to the sun porch outside of the March house in the spring of 1865.
Miss March, we must be getting to the station.
Amy, darling, Aunt March will be here soon.
We don't want to miss your train.
I'll need a few more minutes. I'm waiting for Joe. Tell me I'm doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing.
I've never left my girls before.
Your husband has pneumonia and needs you with him in Washington.
I feel like I'm being torn in two. One part of me here, the other part...
I'll look in on your girls every day.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence.
I'll just take this to the carriage. Good morning, Beth.
Morning, sir. I fixed you a basket of food.
Thank you, Beth.
Amy's almost ready. She's packing up half the house.
Where's Joe? I sent her to Aunt March hours ago. She should have been back by now.
I'll go find her.
Here's the shawl Father loves so much.
Marmee, please don't make me go to Aunt March's house. It scares me. Everything's so old in it. I drew this picture of you with beautiful hair, with apple blossoms in it. The goddess of spring. It's for Father. Is he going to die?
No, Amy. I'll see to it that he recovers. Go get the rest of your things.
Jo rushes in, her head covered by a shawl.
Marmee, I'm sorry I'm so late. I did get the money, though.
Thank you, Joe. I know how hard it is for you to go to Aunt March's.
I didn't ask her. I couldn't. So I walked to the town common and stood there all morning trying to sell my stories. And when that failed,
She rips off the shawl, revealing a shorn head.
I sold my hair.
Oh, you're bald.
I'm not bald.
But your hair was your best feature.
She looks beautiful.
Now Marmee will have enough money to get to Washington and stay with Father for as long as he needs her. $27.25. I threw in a few coins I had stashed away.
You shouldn't have done this, Joe. I'm so
Disappointed?
proud. It was a very courageous thing to do. Thank you, Joe.
The carriage is ready, Miss March. Joe? You look different.
Miss March, we must hurry if we want to make the train.
By summer, I guarantee that every girl in Concord will be wearing her hair.
Lori!
Come, let me hold my girls.
We've never parted before. I feel awful that...
Amy, I'll look after everything, Marmee. Don't worry.
My dear Margaret, make certain your husband recovers. Yes, Aunt March. Thank you for taking Amy. Amy, tell Aunt March how excited you are.
I'm so excited about living with you while Marmie's in Washington.
Naturally. No glum faces and no tears. I'll be back as soon as possible. How did you all grow up so fast? Goodbye, Aunt March.
Oh, you'll tell Father how much I love him and miss him.
Josephine, what have you done?
I sold my hair so Marmee could have a safe journey to Washington.
You did what? I've told you if you need money, come to me.
I was hoping to earn my own money.
Cutting one's hair and selling it like a beggar is not an option for a lady. You look like a short sheep. Have you forgotten our contract?
I never forget it. Traveling, seeing Europe, Paris, London.
You don't live up to your part of the bargain. Why should I live up to mine?
I tried to live up to my part of the bargain. I went to a ball. I improved my manners. I read books on etiquette. I practiced dancing with Meg. I held my tongue in several situations when I wanted to scream out. I've got a fire in me on March.
Well, just see how far this fire takes you in life. See what doors this fire will open. See what society thinks of your fire.
To hell with society!
Josephine!
We don't live for society. We live for what we have inside of us. We live to expand our minds, fulfill our dreams, engage in passionate exchanges.
That's enough! You think you know everything and you know nothing. As for Europe, you can forget it. Europe is meant for someone with a little more understanding of its rewards.
On March,
The
please.
subject is closed.
The subject is not closed. And if it is, I open it up again. I'll go to Europe. I will. I'll go to Europe if I have to swim there.
As she turns to leave, Mr. Brooke appears in full military uniform.
Hello, John.
I like your haircut, Joe.
And my hair will grow back.
Who is this man?
He's Lori's tutor and a friend.
Well, tell your friend his visit should be brief. Amy, collect your things. I'll be waiting for you in the carriage. I have plans for you.
Yes, ma'am. John, what have you done?
I've enlisted. I couldn't stand by any longer. Your own father is in the Army hospital in Washington. I have friends who will never return.
When do you leave?
Tonight. Meg, Margaret, I'm not a rich man, and I'm not particularly handsome.
You're very handsome, John.
Really? You think so? I'm not the wisest man in the world.
You're very wise.
Thank you. Meg, Margaret, if you could find it in your heart, if you could love me as I love you, if only you'd care while we are apart, then I would be rich, I would be wise, I would be more than I am.
Wait for your return. Wait while you're at war.
If you will wait while I am gone, if you'll imagine me here with you, if only you'll care if I carry on, then I could be strong.
Why must you go?
I could be brave.
Don't be too brave.
I could be more
Only come home.
than I am. If you will say you love me enough to marry me, I will come home and love you
Swear you'll come
for all of my
home.
life, and I will be more than I am. Say yes, make me more than I am.
I'll marry you tomorrow. I'll marry you today. Come home and I will love you for all of my life.
I swear to you now with all my heart, I swear I will love you as you love me. From this moment on,
Though we'll be apart, I will be more.
I will be
more than I am.
more than I am.
With you,
I am
more than I am.
I'll write to you every day, twice a day, 5 times a day.
Scene 6. The scene starts starts back at the marked parlor. As Meg enters, Beth is helping Amy to finish packing. Joe enters holding books and maps.
It's settled. What? We'll all go to Europe. Why shouldn't we go? Here we are, young women, on our own, taking care of ourselves. It's time we looked ahead. We'll save our pennies. I'll get a real job.
Joe!
I worked out our itinerary. We'll go to Spain first, Madrid, then to Rome. Visit the Vatican, have an audience with the Pope. It's a wonderful idea, isn't
Joe,
it?
I'm engaged. John proposed, and I accepted.
Meg! Oh, Meg, that's so romantic. Engaged. Meg's engaged. Oh, have a big wedding. March says they're very fashionable.
Amy, March is waiting for you outside. I'll come visit you later.
Goodbye, everyone. What about our promise to remain together?
We made that a long time ago, Joe. I've changed. You've changed.
I haven't changed. I'd never make a promise one day, then break it another. Our word is everything, Meg.
I love him.
So you love him. I'm talking about us, Meg. We're alone now. We only have each other. Our future as a family is at stake.
Joe,
You can't turn your back on us.
I'm not turning my back on you.
I've told you I'm going to become a famous writer.
I know.
And I'll give you everything you've ever dreamed of.
But if she loves him, Joe.
I do. With all my heart and soul.
I've lost Meg.
You haven't lost Meg.
I've lost my trip to Europe.
You'll find your way there someday, Joe. I know you will. You can do anything. You can make the clouds disappear.
It's you who makes the clouds disappear.
Come, walk with me and tell me all about your adventures today.
Well, I sold my hair.
Yes?
And before that, I stood in the common, and when no one paid attention to me, I cried out, "Joe March is here!" And then I recited my story. Carlotta, the mad woman in the attic.
A creature of gall, a spinster rejected by the world, hungry for blood, rose from the dark. Joe March! Her eyes were beady red, her hair ghastly white. Joe, it's your best friend, Theodore Lawrence III! And her fingers clutched with rage as she went out into the wretched night.
Lori, Christopher Columbus, it's so good to see you. Oh, you've not been here in weeks.
I was in Boston. I have dreadful news.
What news?
With the war ended, grandfather's insisted I get on with my life. He's enrolled me in school.
What?
I'm going off to college in time for the summer session.
That's wonderful news.
What's wonderful about it? Being the best friend I've ever had?
I can't imagine life in Concord without you, not seeing your silly grin every day.
I don't want to go.
But you've got to go. This is an incredible opportunity. College? I'd go in a minute. I'd study everything.
What do you need of schools? You're going to be a famous writer.
Famous?
I need to tell you something.
Tell me something.
Ever since that first day I saw you, do you remember that day?
Of course.
The day you chopped down grandfather's tree. I knew then that you and I would be magnificent together.
We are magnificent together.
My sweet Joel. For weeks now, months even, this whole year actually, I've wanted to...
He kisses her.
What was that?
A kiss?
I know it was a kiss.
It was my first kiss. I've thought about it a long time. We could live a million dreams, but only if we dare. We could go to such extremes. There's so much we could share.
What's gotten into you?
Look here, I took part of my inheritance and I bought you this ring.
A ring? What are you talking about?
I want to marry you.
Marry me? Stop this, Lori, it isn't funny.
I practice saying the words over and over. Marry me, marry me.
Have you gone mad?
I love you, Joe, and I want you to be my wife.
No. Find someone else. Find some accomplished girl.
I don't want an accomplished girl. I want you.
Well, you can't have me.
At least say you'll think about it.
There's nothing to think about. I'll never marry.
You don't mean that.
I do mean it.
You'll marry.
I won't.
You will. Just not me. That's what you're really saying. You'll find someone...
Go away. I've thought you understood me.
I knew all along how I felt. Everybody knew.
You knew all along who I am, what I want. I bared my soul to you, Lori. Go away!
Joe!
Please, just go. Was he marry me? With his ring, was marry me? The nerve, the gall. This is not what was meant to be. How could he ruin it all with those 2 words? I thought I knew him, thought that he knew me. When did he change? Oh, what did I miss? A kiss when I thought all along that we were meant to forge frontiers. How could I be so wrong? And I need my sisters here. If I can share my dreams, what were they for? I thought our promise meant that we would never change and never part. I thought together we'd amaze the world. How can I live my dreams or even start when everything has come apart? I thought home was all I'd ever want. My attic, all I'd ever need. Now nothing feels the way it was before, and I don't know how to proceed. I only know I'm meant for something more. I've got to know if I can be astonishing. There's a life that I am meant to lead, a life like nothing I have known. I can feel it, and it's far from here. I've got to find it on my own. Even now I feel its heat upon my skin, a life of passion that pulls me from within, a life that I am making to begin. There must be somewhere I can be astonishing, astonishing. I'll find my way. I'll find it far away. I'll find it in the unexpected and unknown. I'll find my life in my own way today. Here I go, and there's no turning back. My great adventure has begun. I may be small, but I've got giant plans to shine as brightly as the sun. I will blaze until I find my time and place. I will be fearless, surrendering modesty and grace. I will not disappear without a trace. I'll shout and start a riot, be anything but quiet. Christopher Columbus, I'll be astonishing, astonishing, astonishing.
Act 1. Act 2, Scene 1. The parlor of Mrs. Kirk's boarding house, June 1865. Mrs. Kirk, a middle-aged Irish woman, rushes in.
Miss March, has anyone seen Miss March? Professor, have you seen the whereabouts of Miss March?
No, Mrs. Kirk, I have not seen the whereabouts of Miss March.
Helga, do we have enough sheets for the new boarders? Since the war ended, Professor, people are coming from everywhere. Miss March!
What is it, Mrs. Kirk?
Miss March received a telegram. A telegram, Professor! She may have inherited a great deal of money. She could be an heiress. Then again, it could be a terrible tragedy. There's no telling, is there? As her good friend, I think you'd be concerned for her.
We are not good friends. We are simply acquaintances.
I see. Helga!
You know what? You and others in this house are under the impression that Miss March and I have some sort of kinship. We've simply gone places together.
The theater.
Yes, I took her to see Hamlet.
A pathetic tale it is.
Very pathetic. And I've given her 3 German lessons.
3? That many?
And I've taken her to lectures, to the park, to hear speakers. But Miss March hardly seems to know I exist. She is preoccupied. She rushes past me like the wind.
Christopher Columbus, Mrs. Kirk, have you seen the professor? Behind you, darling. Ah, guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Miss March. The word is Tag. Guten Tag means good day.
I know what it means, but when you taught it to me, you said guten Tag.
Oh, I would never say tag.
Well, I'm sure you did.
Well, I'm sure I didn't.
All right, then. Guten Tag. And it is a very guten Tag, a wonderful guten Tag, Professor. And I have some amazing news. I came to New York on a dream. I knew it might take me a while, but all I've been hearing since I arrived is leave it right there on the pile. So today I woke up and decided it's time. Time to achieve, time to thrive, time to fly.
Miss March, tell us what happened.
Sometimes when you dream, your dream is just a guess. Sometimes when you work really hard, you don't know if you'll ever find success. So I grabbed a story to sell and got ready to raise hell. Then I marched out the door and headed straight for the weekly Volcano Press.
Oh, Henry Dashwood, now he is a man of taste.
Dashwood was a fiend. He sneered at my distress, tossed my story high on a stack, but I was determined I would progress. I said, sir, I'll wait while you read. But alas, he disagreed. So I jumped on a chair and read it right there at the weekly Volcano Press.
You did what?
Keep away from me, you wretch! I cannot keep away. Your beauty draws me, your passion ignites me.
Ah, it's the one with all the horror in it. The bloodbath.
That's the one. I took to heart what you said. I embellished. I made it better. Lightning strikes. Thunder claps. Pow!
I've got to have you.
I defy you.
I will take you.
Let me buy you. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Rodrigo appears in magnificent splendor.
Unhand that woman, villain!
Who are you?
I am your destiny, your bitterest foe. You stole what was rightly mine 10 long years ago. Run to the forest, run!
I can't!
forest is dangerous. My sister went in there and never returned.
You must risk it. You must take the dark path. Your fate awaits you there.
She will never escape me.
Hurry!
Go!
Dashwood was aghast, but I could not care less. Words I spoke ignited the air. I felt like a publishing lioness. I said, sir, I started to shout, and I thought he'd throw me out. But then I persevered, and a forest appeared at the weekly Volcano Press. The forest is dark and scary. Clarissa enters, trembling, fearful of what fate awaits her. She comes to a fork in the road and stops. Which way do I go? A hag appears.
I can help you choose, but you must make a sacrifice. Give me something dear. Those combs are nice.
Without these combs, what will I be?
Perhaps a hag as dull as me.
I can't.
You'll never know your destiny unless you give up vanity.
I've got to know. Please show me where to go.
Your fate awaits you there.
The path is perilous. She avoids swamps, loses her footing. Her shoes tumble off. The sleeve of her dress gets caught on a twisted limb. She comes to wild rapids and can go no further. How do I get across? A troll appears.
If you want to cross, you must pay me.
Reinhardt.
I'm the only boat that can get you there alive.
Get you there alive.
I see you
see
wear a necklace
necklace
that holds a
that
pretty
holds
jewel.
jewel.
My price
The
to
price
get across
to
is
cross.
what you're wearing round your neck. Oh, how its glitter makes me drool.
I've nothing left but this. My prospects are so bleak.
You'll never know what wisdom is until you give up all your riches.
Here, it's yours. Now show me distant shores.
I'll take you to your fate.
Sometimes when you dream, your dreams come true. Extraordinary. So suddenly a day can be so amazing. And sometimes when you yearn, you burn the air. And someone else feels the flame you always knew was there.
Stop, please.
I cannot stop.
Can you not give her tired old knight some assistance?
I have nothing left to give.
Give me your time.
My fate awaits me.
Can you not care for me? It's been years since I felt the touch of another hand.
Then take mine and take my shawl, ragged as it is.
Thank you. You have completed your journey. My sword is yours. Use it to defeat your enemies. You may now return to the moors. Your fate is in your hands.
And Clarissa raced from the forest, raced to the moors where she called, I have returned, Braxton! I will free the moors of your tyranny! Fight me!
I knew you'd come back. They always do.
Ah! Clarissa thrusts, she parries, she backs up Braxton, pins him against a tree. She leaps up onto a craggy rock, her sword swishing and swooshing. Never has she been so determined. She is on fire. Braxton knocks the sword from her hands. Pity she hadn't taken dueling lessons. Suddenly, out of nowhere, who should appear but the long-forgotten Roderigo?
This is your end, villain. I've waited a lifetime to destroy you.
Who are you?
I am your worst nightmare, Braxton. I am her sister!
And then Dashwood got on his knees, crying crying, sell this to me, please.
Miss March!
Then he ordered for more. Now I'm writing for the Weekly Volcano Press. I'm ready for
Sometimes when you dream, your dreams come true
I'll take
in
what is
extraordinary
mine
ways.
with curtains undone.
Seems so amazing.
I will not
and
quit.
sometimes
I won't be
when
forgotten. I will shine all dazzling bright. I'm ready to take a bow. I've taken us all around. My destiny here ends now. I will study
Congratulations. I am, what is the word?
amazed.
Flabbergasted. And delighted.
Christopher Columbus, today I feel anything is possible. You were right, Professor.
About what?
Everything. I'm going to be a published writer. I can't believe it. $15 and 25 more for my commission. You are rich. I feel rich. Do you dance, Professor?
No.
Neither do I, but today I could.
We should celebrate your success, Miss March. Have you ever been to the Broadway Gardens?
Are you asking me to dinner, Professor?
No. Yes.
I should like that.
Miss March, I almost forgotten all the excitement. Telegram came for you. More good news, I suspect.
Open it, Miss March.
I will. Today I could start a revolution.
What is it, Miss March?
It is not good news?
Dear God, no. My sister Beth has contracted scarlet fever. She is gravely ill. I must go to her immediately.
I'm sorry, dear. Sorry for you and your family.
Is there anything we can do?
No, thank you, Professor. Mrs. Kirk, tell your girls.
You'll be fine.
Tell them to keep reading.
I will.
Thank you both for everything.
Miss March! I would like to accompany you.
Accompany me?
You should not travel alone.
I traveled here alone. I'm not afraid. I shall be fine. But thank you.
Miss March, you will be back.
Of course. I will.
And Miss March, viel Glück.
Yes. I need good luck.
Your simple acquaintance is leaving you, Professor.
Yes.
Scene 2, the March Parlor, summer 1865. A few weeks later, John Brooke, now married to Meg, is assisting Mr. Lawrence in moving his piano into the March Parlor.
A little more, John. Keep pushing. Heavy piece of wood, isn't it?
Light as a feather, sir.
And Beth knows nothing?
Joe has seen everything.
There. That's it.
Yes.
At last it's found a home.
It's a beauty, sir. I'll let Joe know.
It's magnificent, but Mr. Lawrence, you shouldn't have.
But I did. And enough said on the matter.
Joe,
She's ready.
it's in place.
Meg?
A pregnant Meg appears at the top of the stairs with a frail and blindfolded Beth.
Where are you taking me?
You'll see.
Is it Amy? Is she back?
It's not Amy, and she's not back.
Well, what is it?
Patience?
She removes the blindfold.
There.
Mr. Lawrence?
Over here.
Your piano?
No, Beth. Yours.
Marmee, no.
There was no arguing with him.
But why, sir?
Because it kept calling. Where's that dreadful little March girl? It missed you.
Go sit at it, Beth. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence.
I shall treasure it.
Play something for us, Beth. It sounds good.
I forgot to tell you. I received a letter from Laurie this morning. He'd been in New York.
Laurie was in New York?
Didn't he come to see you?
No.
I'm sorry, but he was in such a bad way, moping about for weeks. I insisted he do some work for me, then go to Europe and enjoy himself. And guess who we met up with in Florence?
Who?
Amy and your Aunt March. Miss March, may I join you?
It'd be an honor, sir.
If you say, come with me off to Massachusetts, then to Massachusetts we will go.
We will buy dishes there, maybe even 2 sets.
Buy the finest china, then we'll dine a while on crepe Suzettes.
New York? I miss New York.
Off to Massachusetts, yes, we're off to where the shops are sweet. We will have no regrets off in Massachusetts.
Dear Professor Bayer, I've been wanting to write you. So much is happening here. My sister Meg is having a baby. My sister Beth is very frail. But I know I have it in me to make her better. I've decided to take her and my mother to Cape Cod, to Falmouth for a few days. Given all that is happening here, I don't know when I can return to New York. I miss it. I miss those volatile exchanges we had. I miss our walks in the park
to hear
the
speakers shout
how they would change the world.
I too would like to change the world. Yes, of course. And how are you, sir? She asks how I am, and so how am I. My days are the usual days. I wake up, I go out. Time goes by. My days are exactly the days I have lived since arriving here. In fact, how I am is amazed, how this comforts me year by year. I work and I eat. Life is muffins and jam. The house is nice and quiet now. That is how I am. 5 years in these rooms, reading Hegel and Kant. My mind is devoted to thoughts on the meaning of life. What more could I want? So why is it lately I find I'm uneasy all through the night? And why even now does my skin feel explosive as dynamite? Why does my heart pound like a battering ram? How can she ask me how I am? How I am is fine. Dear Miss March, there is nothing dramatic or new to report. This will be short. Morning and evening I live in my usual way. On the day you return, you will see for yourself. Tell me, Miss March, are you happy so far from the clang and the beat of our turbulent street? Quite often I think of our days in New York. Though of course since you went, I have been quite content. I wake in the morning and all that I hear is the absence of sound. Yes, my peace is disturbed, but the ruckus is me as my thoughts run aground. I wanted a life by myself in these rooms, but now all around me another life looms. Who asked her to come and to go and to leave me like that? And now she expects me to send her a note with words if I spoke that would stick in my throat. Who asked her to change how I live, how I think, how I am? She asks how I am. How can I reply? I go through my daily routine. I give lessons, I wait. Time goes by. Yet lately I find there is pleasure in humming a silly tune. And some days Sometimes I go to the park and I sit there all afternoon. Some evenings I swear I can hear a door slam. The house is far too quiet now. That is how I am.
Scene 3, a beach and pavilion in Falmouth on Cape Cod, September 1865. Marmee wheels Beth in the beach stroller.
Marmee, it's so beautiful. The waves and all the shells.
I believe this one's 1,000 years old. Listen, Beth. Remember how we always dreamed of coming to Cape Cod?
And now Jo, with her wee literary earnings, as she calls it, has brought us.
I'm so happy to be here with you. Promise me, Beth, whatever's got hold of you, you'll continue to fight it.
Look what I bought. A kite for my Beth. Look at the tail. I told the man I wanted all the colors of the rainbow for my sister.
That is the most beautiful kite I've ever seen.
I shall leave you two.
No,
Stay.
Marmee.
I'll go write a letter to Father and tell him how beautiful the Cape is this time of year. I love you.
No, Beth. This is a dream come true. Come, out of the chair. Help me put this kite together.
Tell me again about New York.
It's a circus.
A circus?
Clowns, waltzing camels, dancing horses. Sometimes you'd see them right out on the street. And museums and theaters, Beth, everywhere.
And the women, are they shameless?
Some of them, anyway. It's an amazing place, Beth. I'm going to take you there.
To New York?
We'll dine in the best restaurants and see Shakespeare and ride the omnibus and mingle with the unsavory characters.
Jo, I have something for you. Marmee says that this shell is over 1,000 years old. And I believe that once upon a time, it had an amazing life. If you put it to your ear, it talks to you.
What does it say?
It says, we grow up too fast. You're a woman of the world now. I'm so proud of you, Jo.
When you were first born, not an hour old, I told Marmee.
Beth is mine.
Everyone has someone special in the world, and I have you. My sweet Beth, give me a task to do.
Let's pretend we're riding on a kite. Let's imagine we're flying through the air.
We'll ascend until we're out of sight. Light as paper, we'll soar.
Let's be wild up high above the sand. Feel the wind, the world at our command. Let's enjoy the view and never end.
Floating far from the shore.
Some things are meant to be. The clouds moving fast and free.
The sun on a silver sea.
A sky that's bright and blue. And some things will never end.
The thrill of our magic ride.
The love that I feel inside for you.
We'll climb high beyond the break of day.
Sleep on stardust and dine on bits of moon.
You and I will find the Milky Way. We'll be mad
and explore. We'll recline, loved upon the breeze. Dart about, sail on with windy ease. Pass the days doing only as we please. That's what living is for.
anything. I never made plans about what I would do when I grew up. And I'm not afraid to die. The hardest part, Joe, is leaving you.
I won't let it happen. You'll get better. You will.
Some things are meant to be, the tide turning endlessly, the way it takes hold of me. No matter what I do, and some things will never die, the promise of who you are, your memories when I am far from you. All my life I've lived for loving you. Let me go now.
Scene 4, the March Parlor, winter 1865. Amy returns from Europe with Aunt March. She rushes in, holding an armful of things.
Everybody, I'm home.
Look at this house.
Mommy! Joe!
You left it in shambles, and it's still in shambles.
Meg! Did you see the look I gave the coachman, Aunt March? His impertinence. He caught every bump in the road.
One should always be civil to a coachman. You must respect those who have the reins, until you wrench the reins from them.
You're such a dear, Aunt March. Thank you for everything.
I'll go see to that wretched coachman.
Remember, Aunt March? Respect those who have the reins.
Very good.
Amy? Meg! Mommy! Let me look at you. You're so beautiful. Let me look at you. Your mother now. Your mother now. Twins. I can't believe it.
Neither can I.
Oh, look at her, Marmy. Marmy.
Amy, my baby is home. You're all grown up.
I am, Marmy. I really am. I'm older. I'm sophisticated. You can't imagine all the experiences I had. And I think wherever I was, if only Meg were here, if only Joe, if only Beth.
Amy.
I'm so sorry I wasn't here to say goodbye to her. I cried for weeks. I couldn't stop. Aunt March said I was being unreasonable, but my heart was breaking not to be here with her. Beth understood. Joe! She said, tell Amy not to fret. Did she really say that? She was so brave to the very end. You'd have been proud of her. I bought her this metronome. The man said there wasn't another one like it. Where did we get this magnificent piano?
Mr. Lawrence gave it to Beth.
Oh, he's a dear, isn't he? It's so good to be home. In our dear house.
Show us what you brought back.
Oh, it's a king's ransom. I have so many things to tell you all. I ate frogs. Actual frogs. Oh, and how is John? Is he still romantic?
More so.
Oh, I knew it. Men are so amazing.
It's almost everything.
Lori? I hadn't realized you were coming back too.
Yes, we all sailed on the same ship.
You look different.
Do I? I'm taller, an inch or so.
It was so good of you to comfort Amy and Aunt March after our loss of Beth.
When I heard the news, I was devastated. I didn't come to you when I was in New York. I wanted to. I thought of it.
I don't blame you, Lori. I was horrible to you. I was so unfeeling.
You said what you felt.
No. Guess what? I sold the story.
I knew you would. I've always had that sort of faith in you, Joe.
I know you did.
You look different too, you know? Very distinguished.
Really? I missed you.
I've missed you too. You know, I've learned something about myself.
What's that?
I was never meant to fly on golden wings.
Who is?
You, Joe. You were meant to soar. Me, I was meant for more mundane things. I've decided to go into my grandfather's business. I know it's the last thing in the world I would have thought for myself. But the truth is, I'm sort of fascinated with the prospects. I shall be wily and true.
Lori! There you are.
Amy, did you tell Joe?
Tell me what?
The most amazing thing.
Really quite a thing.
You tell her.
No, you tell her.
All right. I'll tell her. We're under the bridge of sighs,
In a gondola,
under Italian skies.
she was singing lullabies.
He says he likes the way I sing.
The day was ours.
We talked for hours.
It was amazing.
I said I love fireflies.
I said, so do
I
I.
told him I hate goodbyes.
There was something in her eyes.
I swear that bells began to ring.
We found that we
We're so alike.
It was amazing.
So, tell me, who proposed to whom?
You know, we were trying to be so discreet about it.
Amazing, there we were in Venice.
In a gondola.
In Venice.
When he suddenly stood up
And shouted, will you marry me?
It was so romantic.
Then I fell into the water.
And before we even knew it,
She dove in and rescued me.
it happened before we knew.
How could we have known?
Amazing what time can do.
From that moment my heart flew.
We'll be married in the spring. Whoever thought in all the world we'd fall in love, and yet we did. It was amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. The most amazing thing. Come, Lori, help me with the rest of my things.
She bought half of Europe.
And I'll get the other half on our next trip. And later, Aunt March wants to talk to us about proper wedding etiquette.
Lori, welcome to the family.
Thank you, Joe.
I'd never meant for it to happen like this. I'd always thought of Lori as yours. He's never been mine. He's always been one of us.
Joe, I brought this for you. It's a book of my drawings. I drew all the things you should have seen. All the churches and palaces and mountains. I wanted you to have them.
Amy, I can't.
Yes, you can. We'll be close, Joe. That will never change.
Never. Amy, thank you. Your drawings are beautiful.
The scene moves to the attic, where Jo has gone to collect her thoughts. All of the furniture is covered with sheets or blankets.
It's been a while since you've been up here.
I know.
The room needs an airing and a dusting.
I'll get to it.
The attic used to be such a sanctuary for you. Whenever you were sad or disappointed, you'd run up here, bolt the door, and come down hours later so full of life. I haven't seen that, Jo, in a long time.
I can't write. I can't do anything, really. You're right. In the past, I could always come up with something. I was always so good at that. Beth would say, Jo can make the clouds disappear. I want Beth back. I never should have broken the promise. I never should have gone to New York. Maybe if I'd stayed here, everything would have been different.
Jo, you could not have changed what happened. No one could have done more for Beth than you did.
How do you manage? How do you go on day in, day out, as if nothing has happened?
You think that's how I go on?
You're strong and wise. How can I be like you? How can I find your strength?
Don't make so much of me, Jo. I never dreamed this sorrow. I never thought I'd have reason to lament. I hoped I'd never know heartbreak. How I wish I could change the way things went. I wanted nothing but goodness. I wanted reason to prevail, not despair, emptiness. I wanted days of plenty, but I refuse to feel tragic. I am aching for more than pain and grief. There has got to be meaning. Most of all, when a life has been so brief, I have got to learn something. How can I give her any less? I want life to go on. I want days of plenty. You have to believe there is reason for hope. You have to believe that the answers will come. You can't let this defeat you. I won't let this defeat you. You must fight to keep her there within you. So believe that she mattered, and believe that she always will. She will always be with you. She'll be part of the days you've yet to fill. She will live in your bounty. She will live as you carry on your life. So carry on, full of hope. She'll be there for all your days of plenty.
How do I go on? Just an empty room. All I have are memories. I need a task to do. Someone give me a task to do. I need a... different end. I thought the love we shared would keep us as we were. It was the fire within me. We dreamed and plotted with abandon in this attic. When we were gathered here, the room became our citadel. We were amazing then, my sisters and I. They were the fire within me. In this room I knew we were alive. Nothing was too painful to survive. We faced the world together, the four of us forever side by side. Everything I promised was for them. I was theirs no matter where or when. How can that be gone forever? How when I gave everything with all my heart? It was several days before Christmas. It was several days before Christmas. The sisters sat about the parlor and grumbled about their fate. Meg, the oldest and most romantic, said, "It's not fair. Some girls have pretty things, but we have nothing. It won't be Christmas without presents," said Amy with her usual pout. "And we haven't got Father to read to us," said Joe, who yearned to travel and write great books. Only Beth, sitting contented, said in a tone so sweet even angels would have listened, "But we've got each other." Everything I promised them is here. All of us the way we used to be. We will always have each other. They will always be the fire in my heart. Here I go, and there's no turning back. My great adventure has begun. I may be small, but I've got giant plans to shine as brightly as the sun. Here in all the smallest details of the past, here in this attic, suddenly life is something vast. Four of us forever here at last, as unexpected as can be,
Scene 5, outside the March House, spring 1866. It is the morning of Amy's wedding. John is on the stool fixing the arbor, which is full of flowers. Meg is handing him some final decorations. The sky is full of clouds, threatening rain.
Will we ever get through this day?
This day will be magnificent. Soon, Lori and Amy will be wedded in bliss.
Meg! Look at me! I can't get married looking like this! The dress is not Trepo! The dress is very très beau. Why did I choose white for the flowers?
Amy, come, let me finish your hair.
I made all the wrong choices for the wedding, Marmee. The flowers, my hair, this dress.
Like a Madonna.
Merci, Jean. It was all Laurie's idea to have the wedding in our very petite maison, and I can deny, mon amour, nothing.
Why is she speaking French?
Was I that silly at our wedding?
Worse.
John!
You were inspiring.
John, Father's telegram said he'd be arriving at noon. You must go meet him at the train station.
3 sets of dishes, 2 sets of silver, 16 chairs, 4 cut glass bowls, and all the flowers from my conservatory. I've joyfully been divested of all my worldly possessions. Where's Amy?
You're not to see her before the wedding.
I know. Grandfather, here's the champagne you asked for.
I'll take it. I'm off to the train station.
Come, let's have a cigar before the ceremony begins. How do you feel? Ready to be a bridegroom?
My life has been never more complete. And the rain has held up.
Where's Josephine?
I can go find her.
And tell Amy I wish to speak to her about receiving line etiquette. We have the cream of Concord society arriving at any moment.
I understand you want to talk to me?
I suppose you realize this could have been your day.
You think I made a ghastly mistake.
I do not. Amy and Laurie are ideally suited to each other. I've gone over my will.
Aunt March?
Meg will inherit most of my money. Amy is making her way into society and won't need any of it. And as for you...
I don't want...
I know. You don't want anything. And yet you want everything. Josephine, listen to me. Every girl, every woman needs something to fall back on when times are bleak. I'm leaving you my house.
Your house?
Do something worthwhile with it. Make a library of it or a school.
That's very generous of you, Aunt March. Thank you.
I don't like that dress.
It's one of your old ones.
Well, it looks better on me.
Joe, there's a strange man at the front gate asking for you.
Professor Bayer?
Hello!
Hello. This is a surprise.
I know. You wrote if I should ever come north, I should come visit.
Yes, but
Oh, you never thought I would do it. Well, I did it. I'm here. Should I go?
no.
I'm not intruding?
You're not intruding. Come inside. I'll introduce you.
No. Not yet.
So, how is Mrs. Kirk?
As impossible as ever.
And the boarders?
As strange as ever.
And you?
Me? Same.
You look.
Old. I know. Nearly 50.
You're 34.
35.
You had a birthday?
They had a party for me. I got sick. I do not like parties. I brought back your manuscript. It was so good of you to send the book to me. A novel?
There's no one whose opinion I respect more than yours. Forgive me for presuming.
It touched me deeply, Miss March. I saw you on every page. I heard your voice. I felt your spirit. It was magnificent.
Joe, Amy is driving me insane. Now she's talking about changing her veil and Laurie. Oh, excuse me.
This is my sister Meg. This is Professor Bayer.
Ah, yes. I recognize you from your sister's book.
So you're the one she's let read it.
I'll be right there.
I've come at a bad time.
No, it's just a wedding.
A wedding?
I often think about you, Professor. I wonder how you are doing.
I bought a kite.
You bought a kite?
Soon after you left, I bought a kite and I took it to the park. I never had a kite. You know, you were right to think I was old. I was old.
No,
I was. But since we met, everything is different. Everybody noticed. My students even. They say, Professor Bayer, you're smiling today. Miss March.
Joe.
Joe. We are not at all alike. We have our differences. May I be blunt?
Be blunt, by all means.
I think perhaps it looks like rain.
The sky gets bluer by the hour.
The water falls in little drops.
That's why it's called a sun shower.
Ah, and now it stops.
You were about to be blunt?
If I say rain, then you say sun. If I say yes, then you say no. It seems before we start we're done. We even argue at hello. If I say share with me this small umbrella.
I say, who cares if I get wet?
We are as different as the morning and the night.
No, we're as different as the winter and the spring.
We always seem to fight.
We disagree on everything.
And yet, you make me smile, you make me laugh, you make me care. How can I explain inside my heart I feel a pain when you're not there? Though we are not at all alike, you make me feel alive. If we had that in common, that one small thing in common, our love is like a small umbrella in the rain. Columbus!
Just who are you?
This is my Aunt March. This is Professor Bayer.
Call me Fritz.
Fritz? Is that your name? Fritz?
Did I not tell you?
No. Well, bring in Fritz. You were saying, Fritz?
When people discover passion, they've come upon something rare. This fervor they have in common will shelter them anywhere, though the rest may be rough. With such passion to share, I think we have more than enough, enough to make a marriage if we dare.
You are proposing?
No. Yes. Yes. I do not mean today or tomorrow or even next month. A year maybe. 2 years even. I'm a patient man.
I won't be sweet, won't be demure.
This I prefer, this I adore.
I'll speak my mind, you can be
I will
sure.
be enchanted to the core.
If I say, let me share your small umbrella.
I'll say, who cares if we get wet?
We'll be as different as a husband and a wife.
No, we'll be different as a woman and a man.
We'll fight our way through life.
We'll disagree the best we can.
And yet,
You'll make me smile, you'll make me laugh, you'll make me care. How can I explain inside my heart I feel the pain when you're not there? Oh, we are not at all alike. You make me feel alive.
yes, we have that in common.
That one small thing in common. Our love is like a small umbrella in the rain. I have news for you. showed your novel to Henry Dashwood.
You did what?
It was wrong of me, but I could not resist. Horrid man Dashwood. Stubborn. Blunt to a fault.
What did he say?
He said, it's a bit long. He missed the blood and guts. He likes the four sisters, particularly the outspoken one. He wants the publisher.
He said that?
If it's all right with you.
Joe, we need you inside. Marmee, I want you to meet a good friend of mine, Professor Fritz Bayer. He's come to stay with us. We're thinking of starting a school together.
A school?
Not today or next week, but someday.
Welcome, Professor. Come and meet our family.
Sometimes when you dream, your dreams come true in extraordinary ways. Suddenly a day can be so amazing, and sometimes when you yearn, you burn the air, and then you are not the same, and the world is.
Joe, we were all waiting for you.
End of play.
I'm ready for destiny. Your choices are curled. I'll take what is right in mine with curtains of death. It's so amazing. I will not quit. I won't be forgotten. I will shine all dazzling bright. I'm ready to take a